Okay, so now building 7 chords in a major scale. My last video was just building triads in a major scale. So as I taught in my 7th chord video, if you take a note and you build a third above it, and you build a third above it again, creating a triad, and then you build another third on top of that triad, now you have a 7th chord. So now we're going to take the notes that are in a major scale, and we're going to build 7th chords from that. So this basically here, if you're in the key of C major, so what 7th chords are you going to be playing with C major to be in the key of C major? So it's really simple. So we get these 7 notes here, which make up C major, and we build a 7th. So starting from C, we're going to build a C, E, G, B chord, which uses all the notes in C major, and now we have a C major chord. If you want to understand 7th chords, major, minor, and all that, I have a video all about it. The link will be in this description. So basically we know this is a major 7th chord because C, E, and G makes a major triad, and then C to B makes a major 7th. So a major 7th with a major triad makes a major 7th chord. Okay, so before I get rid of all the notes here, I'm just going to kind of explain some stuff here. 7th chords can have some different qualities that differ from regular triads. These are now 7th chords. So now if we're just talking about the 7th chords that occur in a major scale, when you're just using notes that are in your scale, and you start to build chords off of it, you have a major 7th, you have a minor 7th, you have a dominant 7th, and you have a half diminished 7th. So as I went over, a major 7th means that you have a major triad on the bottom, and then you have that major 7th on the top. So this out here, the M7 is kind of showing you that from your C to your B, you have a major 7. In other words, your root to your 7th. Then we can have a minor 7th. So as here you can see that just means there's a minor triad on the bottom, minor 7th on top of that. Then the dominant 7th has that major triad with that minor 7th. And then a half diminished 7th has a diminished triad with a minor 7th. And up here are triads for comparison. Okay, since that first chord starting from C was that C major 7, as you can see, I labeled it I maj 7. Okay, so now from there, if we build a 7th chord from D, we have D, F, A, C, which is a minor 7th, so I have a lowercase I 7. Since the I is already lowercase, it's already telling us it's a minor 7. Next, if we start on E, we have E, G, B, D, which is again a minor 7, so we have that I 7. 4 literally just spells out face, F-A-C-E, and this is a major 7, so again we have that M-A-J 7. And that capital IV. But this next note, if we start on G, we have G, B, D, F. And this is a dominant 7th, so it's labeled as just a 5-7. So it's just telling you it's the 5th note of C major, it's the 5-7. So instead of it being major, since it's a capital 5-7, you'd think that it's probably major, but that actually means that it's a dominant 7. And a dominant 7 means that you have that major triad, and then you have a minor 7th on top of it. Next, moving on to A, C, E, G. So now I have a lowercase VI 7. And remember, all that I'm doing is I'm getting the notes that are in the scale, and I'm just building a third from that bass note, and I'm doing that 3 times over. So let's look at it. So I just did A, so I went A, and I built a third, so remember it repeats. So I go back from A, B, I go back to C, I have A to C, go up another third E, another third G. It's that simple. Okay, now my last one, B, D, F, A. Now this is a half diminished 7 chord, so that's why it has a VII with a degree symbol looking thing with a slash through it. That's telling you that the degree symbol would be a diminished, but it has a slash through it, so it's telling you it's a half diminished. And it is a half diminished because you have a diminished triad on the bottom, B, D, and F, and then you have a minor 7th on top of that. Okay, that's it for this video. My next video is going to be on inversions. I'm going to have one of triads, and then I'm also going to have one inversions of 7th chords, and that's where things get really interesting. Like always, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer it. Thank you.